bless you, social media. I'd like to talk with you just for a few minutes on the subject of recognizing your own shine. It's amazing sometimes that we can spend many years developing a skill set, developing acumen, uh, putting in time in the trenches until that which God has called us to do starts to shine from us. It's amazing that that we develop the forward progress, we develop the momentum, and now our personal giftings are starting to draw attention from the marketplace. Then you go somewhere and you get upset because somebody doesn't recognize your gift. You get upset because somebody doesn't recognize your talent. Somebody doesn't have a glimpse of your limitless potential. And they see your shine, but they don't acknowledge it. And then that takes you to a blow because you want their affirmation, you want their substantiation, you want their kudos, you want their stamp of approval. And it's amazing sometimes in life, you're going to have to get very resolute and serious, and you're going to have to recognize your own shine. The Bible says, "What man, having light, hideth it under a bushel?" Folks, you got to literally let your light shine. And every now and then, when you let your light shine, even if you let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, there are people that won't recognize your gifting. They won't put their stamp of approval. They won't affirm you. They won't substantiate you. They won't honor you in the light of day. So every now and then, you better recognize your own shine. You got to recognize that this is the gift that God gave to me. You got to recognize that this is where God has me. Every now and then, you got to look in your own mirror and look at it and say, you look good, and it was good. Folks, look, everybody's not going to buy in when you move to the next place. Even if I think there's so many times that we're expecting you're expecting you of someone else, and some will never give that. So because you've been fair, you compliment, you affirm, you substantiate, you tell people when that stuff is together, and it's the natural expectation that they will do it for you. Well, folks, there's some folks that ain't never going to put their stamp of approval on you. There's some folks that will never affirm you in the light of day. There's some folks that will affirm Daffy Duck before they say anything good about you. So I've got to tell you that every now and then, if you're going to go anywhere in life, you better recognize your own shine. Folks, if you know that the Lord gave you a word, if you know that the Lord gave you a discernment, if you know that God taught you how to paint, if you know that God taught you how to hear, if you know that God taught you how to write, every now and then you don't need everybody else's buy-in on that. You better recognize your own shine. Folks, look, we're sitting here for 70 and sometimes 40. And wouldn't it be horrible that you're here all that time, passing by, passing through, and you never recognize your own shine? Folks, look, there are some folks that won't recognize your shine because little Angie in the 3rd grade has liked you in the 3rd grade, and they never forgave you for it. Now, y'all 50 plus, but they're still holding a 3rd grade beef against you. Or maybe you one of Mabel's kids, and Mabel's kids wasn't supposed to be as good as Thurston's kids. So you want to Mabel's kids so they can't give you any kudos. Or perhaps you were from the wrong side of the track. Folks, look, greatness is greatness. Excellence is excellence. You don't need everybody's buy-in. You better learn how to start recognizing your own shine. Folks, look, I think it was Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Romeo and Juliet. I still remember that. And one of the things that he said, a rose by any other name. It's just as sweet. You can call a rose whatever, but a rose is going to do what it's supposed to do. Folks, greatness. Stop letting people define you. Stop letting people castigate you. Stop letting people box you in. Folks, you better learn how to recognize your own shine. Folks, look, God, you've worked hard. You were the one working late. Preach, Steve. I did. You were the one staying late and getting to work early. You were the one that was studying while everybody was at the day party. You were the one that put the time in and went up the rough side of the mountain. And here you are. They got you feeling shame for recognizing your own shine. Your time. You put the time in to shine. Preach, Steve. I'm going to give it to you today. You put the time, you put the effort, you put the extra hours, you put the study in, and folks, now here you are. You're coming into the fulfillment of that which God has called you, and you're scared, and you're needing their kudos, and you're needing their buy-in. You better learn how to recognize your own shine. Saints of God, my brother and my sister, if you're the best banker out there, sometime they won't tell you. I remember there was a season when I was in the car business that I think I had out of 21 months at this dealership, I think I was salesman of the month 17 times out of 21 months. And it got to the point where salesman of the month was a big deal. And they got tired of calling my name. And because I was winning every month. And they were, when another guy won, they would make this big production, this big production. But folks, look, I couldn't let that get me out of my game. I had better learn to recognize my own shine. Folks, if you're a good preacher, you better have some preaching confidence in yourself. If you got to preach to yourself in the mirror until you say, that's good. If you're a good singer, some folks you could sing the house down, and some folks would still rather have somebody tearing up notes because they don't want to give you the kudos because you from the wrong side of the track. I ain't liked her since the second grade. Folks, look, I'm speaking this to you. You, even as adults, even as folks that's 40 plus 10 and some more, folks, I'm speaking this to you. You better learn how to recognize your own shine. Self-assessment is vital if you're going to take your life anywhere worth going. You better know what your strengths are. I had some friends, and I know they love me, good friends of mine, but they laid out everything. Steve, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that, and all of that is true. I can't do a whole lot of things, but I don't focus on that which I can't do, but I said, I tell you what God sent me here for. If you give me a pen and you give me a piece of paper or you give me a microphone, and you'll see the golden thing that God sent me here for. Saints of God, you better recognize your own shine. You need to stop listening to those folks that give you a list of things that you can't do and then just celebrate what God has enabled you to do. Saints of God, I'm telling you that you better recognize your own shine. You better be your own best fan. If your mirror on the wall says that somebody else is the fairest of them all, let me tell you, you better buy you another mirror. Saints of God, I'm speaking this to you. Stop allowing people to get you out of your game. Stop allowing people to have you living beneath your privilege. You better learn how to recognize your own shine. And once you recognize your own shine, don't you dare be scared to shine. Shine in the morning, shine in the evening, shine. You may not speak to me. You may play like you don't see me in the grocery store, but guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to shine. Folks, look, I put too much in this shine. I cried too long. I studied too hard. And folks,